See, our father's name is Rajagopal. He is very fondly called as Rajam by his close friends and by my grandmother also. Got into automobile business to start with. It was in '76, I think we started our print operations. And the whole thing started with a small letter press.
Even though we started as a small press, it has become an industry today. There is about 400 people working here. And Ravi was the main pillar to make this factory remain clean and so perfect.
From the beginning, I visited a lot of places in Germany and a lot of presses. So my ambition எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா pressனா spick and span இருக்கணும். That is my ambition. And I learned so many things from Mr. Mani. In India, anybody visited our place, even Heidelberg people, they used to say, the only red carpet machine in Heidelberg in Multivista.
If I could add there, sometimes Heidelberg say this is their showroom here.
They purchased a place in Valacheri. It's a huge place, roughly 7.5 grounds, totally roughly 50,000 square feet.
We have been associated with leading publishers, not only in India and in the global market.
I must thank Heidelberg, like Corpus, everybody is cooperating like anything. Thank all vendors for wonderful support from our vendors.
In early 80s, Mr. Rajagopal, my father, and Mr. Mani, I was representing Kirloskar, and we started very small business of 20 lakhs. That is when we started it. And over a period of years, we could find there was huge potential in the market, and we started growing in Kirloskar business. And today, we are a South Zone distributor for entire Kirloskar group. Not only Kirloskar Pneumatic, Kirloskar Brothers and Kirloskar Oil Engines. We decided that we should not only grow vertical, we should also grow horizontal. And that is when we got the Timken dealership, and we started representing Timken for again southern region. We decided from just a distributor, we should become a solution provider. So we started investing on service network and equipment sales, and we had come to a stage that we are a one-stop shop for any customers.
Somewhere halfway through, even our uncle also joined the business. Our uncle, Mr. B. Balasubramaniam, who is a well-wisher of our family. He inspired us a lot. Somewhere in '92, we consolidated the operations and gave a name called as Multivista. The name was chosen as Multivista because we were in a diversified business activities. The company started moving into global operations. And that's when we decided we changed the name of the company to Multivista Global Private Limited. We got into leather business. We have started manufacturing shoes somewhere late 80s, which did very well for almost 20 years. And we had a collaborator also for that. We are marketing the products in most of the European countries. It was doing pretty well. Then we had to exit that business sometime in 2008. Likewise, we got into content management business sometime in 2006-07. We got into e-publishing business, which was doing extremely well for a period of 5-6 years. We even went and acquired a company in US and then integrated the operations. And that started developing very well. The business grew very well. And that is when we got an excellent opportunity to spin off the business.
We in Multivista always believe on long-term basis. This 40th year is a very significant year for us. It is not only the 40th year for Multivista. We are associated with Kirloskar for last 35 years, and our association with Timken is last 20 years, and our association with Rockwell is 5 years. So everything is a milestone. We have staff who have worked with us more than 25 years.
Sometime in 2003-04, the children also joined the business, and they are all very highly qualified in their respective portfolios. Each one has got different skills.
So we decided the transition period will be 5 years, and as decided, within 5 years, the business was handed over to the next generation, and one by one, we moved as advisors. Time changes, value remains. So at the cost of value, Multivista will not do any activity, and I think this has percolated more to the next generation.
It's a policy of the company to religiously plow back the profits into the business so that it helps the company to grow in the long run. What father taught us was absolute discipline. What he believed in was absolute discipline, governance, and as far as business, you be together, and when it comes to family, you be separate. And that was his idea, so that the business can go on for a couple of generations.
My mother, Bhagya Lakshmi Amma, known as Bhagya, efficient lady, and she was so meticulous that she ensured no problems are transferred to my father.
The Multivista growth அப்படின்னு சொல்லப்போனா it's only cooperation with brothers. But Mr. Jayaraman and myself, I joined from the beginning. We are very close. He never asked anything. He's given a full freedom to me.
Maybe he realized he should not ask him. That is also possible.
Not like that. Not like that.
It is not only the cooperation amongst my brothers, there was a tremendous cooperation among the family members also. Even the ladies of our family, they gave us a lot of support in all our operations, and that is how the business we could develop also.
So when we took the decision to actually come back and join the organization, I think the first person that came into the company was me. That was in 2003. Mahesh joined a quick couple of months later, maybe 6 months or so. Rajesh was the next person who stepped in. That was another 6 months later. And at that point of time, Karthik was still at the company working in our print business. And he had to go back to the US and complete his education in Rochester. And once he came back, he was the fourth member that stepped into the company as well.
The integration of us into the business was extremely well thought out and I think systematic in the way we approached this whole model. So like we were all allowed to choose a certain function in the business where we were passionate about. We had deliberated a lot. We had a lot of discussions amongst ourselves and with our elders on how we would do this every 3 years. And there was a lot of flexibility given to us. A lot of respect was given to our opinions at every decision we were taking. So it was not like we felt we were thrusted upon.
We all joined as business development managers. I think each one took a different portfolio, and these portfolios were different. We kind of didn't cross paths with each other. And at the same time, one of the earlier founding members of the business was our mentor. So each one of our uncles or fathers was actually our mentor, and we kind of grew under them. And that was the umbrella under which we kind of learned the business. So we had to carry our people in terms of people who added value in the past. At the same time, the company was going through an influx where there was new ideas and new thinking that was coming into the system, where the new team members also had to drift into the the kind of policies and values of the organization.
So our main goal was to look at the growth, at the same time keeping in mind the company's culture and the tradition and the history. So we had a certain way of running the business, so we had to keep that in mind, at the same time also focus on growth.
We started opening up new branches. We started creating infrastructure in terms of warehouse infrastructure. We started correcting our stocking policies. So we invested a lot of money in terms of building infrastructure and in terms of developing our teams, building our efficiencies of the team. We also wanted to upgrade our IT infrastructure. So we invested on SAP. We transitioned from the legacy system that we were operating into SAP, and that kind of integrated the complete organization, whether it be distribution or printing, into one single entity, and that made a complete financial control a lot better for us.
So this was kind of a phased plan, and it was the initial plan where we literally got our feet wet into doing a lot of different things. And at that point of time, all of us were kind of the sponge, and we were trying to kind of learn as we went through in terms of all these projects. And each one of us headed that project. I know that I spent a lot of time in the SAP project. Mahesh spent a lot of time setting up new branch infrastructure. I know Karthik and Rajesh spent a lot of time trying to build the the new facility itself. I think we really started understanding the core essence of how business works, how our people respond to us, how our customers respond to us. It's a great transition that needs to happen when there is any change in an organization. Everybody has to support that change. I think we've worked with all our principal partner companies where they were very supportive to the transition. They believed that we had the right skill sets and the focus to kind of grow the business. The other important aspect for us when we kind of started, taking roles and responsibilities in the company was one, each one of us definitely had a target to, kind of be responsible for a front-end unit, as we call it, which is basically a revenue generation model. While at the same time, each one of us also have a responsibility for a company-wide portfolio that we manage. Rajesh kind of handles the HR for the entire organization. Mahesh handles the finance portfolio. I'm responsible for the IT and the system side of it. Karthik has other issues to handle in terms of factories, union workforce, and the kind of programs that they need. So each one of us have also a shared resource, kind of a regional, a company-wide responsibility, as you want to call it. So that's something that kind of keeps us back-end focused, while at the same time we also have focus on the revenue generation angle to the company.
We also decided to expand our print operations. So we wanted to move into a greenfield facility. We identified the facility. A complete greenfield facility was built with a couple of new machines added. Western-class technology was added into the machine. And from 2007 onwards, we've been operating out of our new facility at Kelabaka.
There was a significant financial investment that we had made, which transitioned that business to move towards the export market, which until then was largely revolving around the domestic market.
First step was to implement ISO, which we did in 2006, a quality management system, because we manufacture anywhere between 14 to 16 million books every year, and it is very important to have the consistency. The first book we manufacture should be the same as the last book that we do. So that's when we implemented the quality management system. Again, a lot of our customers are multinational companies. They have a brand, a goodwill to protect. So that's when we wanted to go green. Today, I would say 70 to 80% of our entire factory runs out of a renewable source through a windmill generated energy, which is a good initiative that we took a few years back.
We got the call from the board and said, it's time that you guys need to get inducted to the board. A few members out of the senior generation decided that they would kind of hang up their shoes. We still have Mr. Shankar, who is the chairman and managing director today.
We set up a business development team that would focus exclusively on adding lines that would complement with the existing lines. So the recent addition is that we've set up a new business, that is our international operations, where Kirloskars have appointed us as distributors for the Saudi Arabian territory, which Deepak is spearheading at the moment. Thus was born as 3 independent units. We call it the mechanical business unit, the electrical business unit, and the international business unit.
The last 1 year, we actually invested on a new tool called the disciplined sales process, which is also the objective of our company this year, is to come out with 7 transparent metrics based on which each and every sales resource is measured today. These 7 metrics are something that we believe very critical for us to succeed in this business, not only in terms of business value, but also add that value directly to our customers. So this phase for us is all about improving our sales force efficiency, our production efficiency in a very systematic manner, again, if I can put that way.
So I think we've also had changes within our roles and responsibilities, and that is something we advocate to our associates. We keep telling people, please look for new challenges. It could be a change in your geographic role, it could be a change in your the sales role versus the service role. So it kind of gives us a little bit of breadth and bandwidth in terms of how we utilize our team as we kind of see it.
What's the next phase?
Next phase is a great question. I think we basically have a structured way of looking at what the next phase is. We kind of have an annual 3-year planning exercise, as we call it. We kind of sit together, 1 day of brainstorming, trying to find out what we are going to look at for the next 3 years. For distribution business, we definitely want to become the one-stop shop for all industrial products and solutions, be it products, be it equipments, be it after-sales service. We've kind of got there to being a large distribution company today, but I think we have a fair bit of journey to go to become this one-stop shop. I think we're progressing along that way. Looking at the print business, I think we're well poised for growth. Karthik has been, kind of every year expanding into new geographies. We've expanded into the African region. We've expanded more into Europe more than before. He's now looking at a few customers in Australia and Asia Pacific.